been a while, but we're welcoming back AJ Matthews here to the program, getting a fight in, what is it, Rizin Fighting Federation, I guess what they're calling it. Basically what it is just Pride Point 2. That's essentially what's happening. Sakakibara started a new organization. His non-compete clause is finally up. He's tired of being a soccer team manager. Has started Rizin. Fedor, of course, is on New Year's Eve card. And AJ is fighting the night before with the main event of Shinya Nioki versus Sakuraba, which is a strange matchup, but typical for Japan.
Yeah.
Why is Sakuraba still fighting? He's like, he smokes over a pack of cigarettes a day. He's a belligerent alcoholic, but yet, he's in it. You were in Thailand hanging out with a bunch of lady boys.
Yeah. They were nice, like I said.
How did it work out for you? Like, how was the training over there in Thailand? Why Thailand? I mean, there's enough kickboxers down towards San Diego that you'd think you'd be able to get training in just staying home.
Thailand, because I haven't really traveled.
Okay.
It was kind of like this whole. There was just with the timing of my life. There was like the sobriety, and then I overcome the fight, and then it was like I need to live. So I just went over to Thailand, got set up with Phuket Top Team, and those guys were great. And I was just training. You get more grounded. I feel more grounded in my striking. I feel like that's what I'm going to take away from Thailand. And if that's all that I took away, then hell yeah, that's sick.
Right. How long were you over there for?
A little more than 2 months.
Oh, wow. A long time. Okay. It seemed like I remember seeing one of your posts saying that, hey, you were going to Thailand, getting ready to take off. And it seemed like that was just a couple of weeks ago. So you did a full training camp over there.
Well, I did like a month of kind of moving around, like seeing things. And, I'd take privates at different schools.
Okay.
And then towards the end, I was just at Top Team getting it in.
Where are you training now that you're back in, I'm essentially saying San Diego, right? You're back down.
San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, I'm always with Team Alliance. And then Coach Ed Buckley is my striking coach. And then sometimes I'll grapple. Sometimes we'll get together in a garage with my brother Brian and his team.
Okay. So what's Alliance like right now? Like who else is in there and what's the mood like? Because it's holiday season. So a lot of gyms, if guys have already fought, they're going to be like, usually they'd be back in the gym right away to help out their training partners. But it's like Thanksgiving's just come and gone. We're about to hit Christmas. I got New Year's coming. So a lot of guys take off.
The vibe at Alliance, because I've been there for years, everybody trains on the holidays.
Okay.
Everybody comes in and trains. But right now it's like, Dominic Cruz is in there.
Yeah.
Jeremy Stevens, even though he's fighting, he was there yesterday, kind of just cheering us on. Ross Pearson's in town, so you got some slangers and bangers.
Yep.
And, I'm back. Nick Piedmont's always going. It's a good group, and everybody's always training.
Good. Okay. So let's talk about Anatoly Tokov. That's your opponent. What do you know about this guy, and have you actually seen any tape on him?
I know that he's good. I watched and that's only from, he has a big record, but I watched his fights and whatever's on YouTube, and he can transition from, first he understands range. Second, he can transition from striking to MMA immediately. Yeah. And he's well-rounded. He's won fights on the ground. It seems like he might have hammers, in his hands, and that's what it's about.
My understanding is your records are pretty close. He's 10-1 and you're 8-3. So it's not an extravagant. Like a lot of times in Japan, you'll get a guy like, Fedor, and he'll fight some guy that's like 6-3. And you're like, well, what the hell are you doing? Well, because they're trying to put this together. I talked to Sean Jordan real briefly because he was in the hopper to be able to fight Fedor on the New Year's Eve card. And it's going back to typical Japanese style. Yeah. Where when did you actually know that you're officially going to fight on this card?
Well, probably 8 weeks out.
Okay.
But I haven't signed a contract yet.
So it's still up in the air, and not saying that anything bad would happen, that you weren't going to fight, you weren't going to pay, but it's like, it's frustrating coming from America to go over there to fight, because the way that things are done in the States with all promotions, whether they're minor league, or they're the big leagues, you kind of know 8 weeks out, you signed your contract, you signed your bout agreement. everything's kind of put together before you take off and go. And it seems like with Japan, a lot of guys don't know for sure until they get the plane ticket, 2 days before they're taking off. Like it's like this game that kind of gets played over there.
It's my first time experiencing it. I think that it hasn't affected me yet because I'm just still so excited about the Super Arena and New Year's and even Tokov. I'm excited about Tokov, because the record on the internet that I saw, he's 22-2, or whatever, and he's number 50 on that fight matrix, and I'm number 90. So
yeah,
I'm just stoked I get to get after this guy. You know what I mean?
And what a big jump it is for you too to jump from. I knew that you were 90, he was 50. I knew that in the match. I didn't see that. The records are all over the place with these guys.
Yeah.
It's such a big jump for you. Not meaning that he's a big step up in competition, but that'd be a great jump for you to beat a guy that's number 50. All of a sudden you get put up. They won't jump you to 50, but it'll definitely jump you up in the 60s.
Yeah.
And that's a big jump to make, especially on a holiday weekend. How's the pay for this event? Is it decent enough to kind of get you through Christmas, or is it? Don't tell me you don't even know.
I'm sure it's good.
How the hell do you not know what you're going to make on a fight?
Because I don't. That's a tough question. That's not a question for me.
It is a question for you because a manager's got to come to you. You're manager. You have a manager, right?
Yeah.
Okay, your manager set the fight up.
Yeah.
Okay, then he's got to let you know what the pay is. He can't just be like, oh well, we signed for $10,000 and you really got paid $50,000 and you got to pay him. He gives you $10,000. You got to pay him 10% on 10, and he keeps you the 40. Like that's why the sport gets so jacked up. Like, do you have an agreement with your manager not to tell you? Is that what the situation is, or does your manager just not tell you?
We don't. I think maybe both of us don't know.
See, that is another typical thing with and frustration I have with, and I've commentated over in New Year's during these big shows, and I've seen these kind of things go on backstage where literally a guy is like, I don't have a contract, I don't know what I'm getting paid, and they're calling him to walk out for the fight, and they got to go out there and they got to give him his contract and have him sign for it. It's like that kind of stuff should be dealt with earlier. Like it's flabbergasted me that you don't know what the hell you're getting paid and you're going over to fight. But you're looking at it like, hey, I'm getting to fight a guy that's got a better record than me. I'm going to Japan. I'm fighting on a New Year's Eve card. I'm going to be in Tokyo.
For me, the fight's important for me, right? You know what I mean? At this, even in my career, I don't, on any of my fights, it's not enough or too little to change anything. My life's pretty much the same. So
point taken. So it's really not, but like for a guy like me and like most of us out there, we're like, dude, we got to know, because am I going to be able to get Christmas present? Or am I only going to be able to pay the mortgage payment this month? Like, which way is it going to go on this thing?
Yeah.
Are you making money doing anything else, or is fighting just your full-time job and that's where you get all your cash?
No. I work for a clothing company, Dirty Millionaire, okay. And I teach, and I'm grinding just like all these other guys. I wait tables, I sign up for Uber, all sorts of shit.
Smart. I got to tell you, AJ, probably 50% of the athletes I'm talking to now that are fighting are all like, dude, I'm doing Uber. Like, I'm doing Uber on Sundays. I'm doing Uber on Saturdays. Like, I'm in my car. I don't have to do much. I just got to go down and make a couple $100 for the day, and that kind of carries me through the week.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Where are you waiting tables at?
A place called Priority Public House in Leucadia.
Okay. So if anybody at home is in that area, you can try to get down there and check out AJ and tip his ass big, because I know that boy.
Big, homie. I'm trying to make it to this fight. I got to beat up some Russian.
Tip that man. How is everything else going for you? We haven't talked in a while since the show on Spike. Like a couple times after that, but not really as much. You had a couple of injuries, obviously. Your shoulder was bad, and then some other things that went on. But overall, how is your quality of life right now? Now that you're finally back from Thailand, you're back in the swing down in San Diego. How is your quality of life right now?
Things for me are good. Both of my shoulders have stayed in place. I've won 2 fights, and I've kicked some bad habits and trimmed some fat in my life.
Okay.
I'm just generally kind of happy. Just happy doing what I love. And
when you say trim some fat in your life, did you have to get rid of a couple of friends that weren't really doing much for you and just kind of bringing you down?
No, it wasn't so much of that. It was, we were having problems at our gym. Mm-hmm. The one, remember my brothers and I own a gym, and I was kind of, That's too much stress for me to deal with. You guys deal with it. I'm out of here. You know, just
Oh,
things in my life, really.
and that did it make your relationship with your brothers better? Because now you don't have that constant stress.
It's cool. Yeah, I mean, everything's always been cool with me and them. But yeah, it's not. You can tell it's just a weight lifted off everyone's shoulders, and
Yeah.
just you know, you give a there's a gym with and then three cavemen running that shit. It's like not going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't let two cavemen run it. Let me get out of the way. So nice.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, AJ, you look good. You look healthy. I'm glad things went well for you in Thailand. And I can't wait. Like I'll be at home. I've been making fun of this card from top to bottom. They still haven't announced, Fedor's opponent. You know, it's like
Yeah.
they have already established who the referees are going to be with John McCarthy and Yuji Shimada. They've already
It's
established
important.
the pay rate for these guys, and then they're like nobody else knows what the hell is going on. Like the officials are already taken care of, but they don't know who the fighters are yet, which is usually backwards. Usually you get the fighters first, and then the officials come later. But it's great. I can't wait. I really, really do truly hope this entire card, both nights, goes amazingly well because Japan needs to have major MMA back again. It'll be great to have you on that card. Have a great showing because 100%, if you have a great showing, they'll be calling you back to come fight for them again. And there's
Yeah.
nothing better than fighting in Japan in front of a sold out crowd. It's honestly, I fought all over the world for different sizes, and for me, Japan crowds are absolutely incredible to fight in front of.
I'm stoked, man. That's well, I'm thinking about. That's all. It's literally a dream come true.
Good for you, AJ, man. I appreciate you coming on here for a couple of minutes, man. Have a great rest of your camp. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Trig.